Hey guys, my name is Danny and I'm your life and relationship coach. And I wanted to talk about recovering from the trauma of infidelity. Um, this video in particular is for individuals who have decided to stay together and try to work through the emotional trauma of infidelity. Um, if you are watching this video and you are no longer with your partner and you're just trying to recover from infidelity and the emotional fallout, this is not the right video for you. This is, again, geared towards individuals who have decided to stay in the relationship and try to work through the affair. First and foremost, I empathize with you. This is not an easy situation. This is not something simple to navigate, especially because emotions are usually at an all-time high. You are just raw, you're exposed, you're vulnerable, you are hurting. And sometimes it may feel like you are never going to recover from this. How are you going to be able to forgive your partner? How is your partner going to be able to regain that trust? I have dealt with this many times before in one-on-one coaching sessions. Unfortunately, this is a very common thing. So I don't want you guys to feel like you are alone in this situation. That does not take away from what you are going through personally right now, but just know that you are not alone. There are a community of people out there that have been through something very similar. It is possible to get through the trauma of the infidelity, but it's going to take time. I'm not here to sell you an overnight solution. It's not possible, right? So if you're here thinking that I'm going to be able to resolve your issues within a week, again, this is also not the video for you. Realistically speaking, it is going to take time. And we are talking months, possibly years, to be able to regain trust in the relationship and feel comfortable enough with your partner to be able to rebuild something even better than the first relationship. So what is the first thing that needs to happen in order to process the trauma of infidelity? The first thing is allowing yourself to grieve, allowing yourself to feel the feels, right? Oftentimes we try to just kind of tuck the feelings away, compartmentalize, and just move forward. And that is not productive, that is not healthy, that is not going to help anything. Because if you sweep those emotions under the rug, they are going to manifest into physical symptoms, right? So panic attacks, anxiety, stress, depression, all of those things, which will not help in recovering. It's not going to help in the process of moving forward in the relationship. But not only that, if you sweep all the emotions under the rug, they are going to come out eventually at some point, right? So if you guys get into an argument a couple of weeks, months, years down the line, it is possible that these harbored resentments and anxieties and fears and anger will come out, and you'll have to deal with it again at that point. So making sure you give yourself the space and the ability to grieve and process the trauma and the emotions is crucial. The second thing, once you have allowed yourself to grieve, is communicate with your partner. Express your disappointment. Let them know what your needs are, what your expectations are, the boundaries that you will be setting, right? But in order to have these conversations, it is incredibly important to also identify what the core issues were, right? What was at the root of the affair, of the infidelity? If you are not able to figure that out, it is going to be very difficult to be able to move forward and move past the infidelity itself. So taking time for yourself and asking yourself, what is my part in this? Am I accountable at all? Did I stop giving my partner attention? Did I stop making them feel desired? Is that why they strayed? And for the individual who acted out the affair, asking yourself, why did I cheat? Why did I stray from my relationship? What was I missing? What were the needs that were not being fulfilled? Really asking yourself these questions and then coming together and having that discussion. But understand something, it's not just about sitting down and starting to have a conversation. There should be some form of a semi-controlled environment, right? And in order to do that, you should be scheduling out your conversations and your arguments. And as weird as this may feel in the beginning, believe me when I tell you, it helps to eliminate a lot of unnecessary screaming and yelling and fighting, right? Because you are giving each other time to prepare for the conversation. You are able to effectively sit down and write down the things that you want to be able to discuss. And then you can come to the table and manage and talk about one thing at a time. That is conflict resolution. You are solving one thing at a time. If you try to deal with too many things at one time, you will start to lose track of the conversation. You'll go around in merry-go-rounds, and it's just going to really heighten the situation emotionally. And you probably are not going to get through that conversation very well. So making sure that you are creating a semi-controlled environment. The third thing, and again, this goes hand in hand with the communication aspect of it, of these steps, is reflect on the relationship, right? Infidelity is not the disease. Infidelity is the symptom. So the disease itself is something else that was going on in the relationship prior to the infidelity happening. So what was missing? What needs were not being fulfilled? Was there a lack of intimacy? Was there a lack of communication? Was there a lack of emotional support? Was there no sex at all? Like, what is it that led to the infidelity itself? It is so important and crucial to identify these things, which are the root issues, in order to unroot them and move past them. The fourth one is be patient. This is going to take time. This is not something that's going to be resolved overnight. And I said this in the beginning of the video. So if you are expecting an overnight solution, that is not realistic. You know, trust is earned. A bond is built over time. And when that trust is broken, it takes a lot of work and time and effort to rebuild that trust, right? So Rome was not built in a day, but it sure did burn down in one. So keep in mind that it's going to take time to rebuild. That's the realistic expectation. And I don't want to paint a picture that's any different, because that would be a lie. And as a life and relationship coach, it is my job to be completely transparent with you and set realistic expectations. So understand that it's probably going to take months to maybe even some years, depending on the severity of the infidelity itself. The fifth one is have empathy, right? Have empathy for your partner. Understand that they're going to be hurting. If you're the individual who committed the infidelity, committed the act of infidelity, your partner is raw and hurting. And they may say some things that they don't mean, or maybe they mean them in that moment, but they're not very nice. Understand that that's going to happen. You have to allow them to process. Now, if it is a continual thing and it doesn't stop, and it is consistent, then at that point, I would set boundaries and let them know that that is no longer acceptable for them to do, because that is not productive. But also give them space to be able to express themselves emotionally. You have to be able to create a safe space in order for that to happen. The sixth one is forgiveness. At the end of the day, no matter what you do and how far along you are in this process, if you are unable to forgive your partner, you will not be able to move past the infidelity itself. I understand there's a lot of trauma here. I know that there's a lot of heightened and charged emotion, and it's not fair, right? It's not fair that this happened. But the reality is that it happened, and you should be, and I invite you to make the decision of whether you want to move forward or not. And if you choose to move forward, then that is going to involve forgiving your partner. And if you are the individual who committed the affair, forgiving yourself. Now, if there are deep emotional traumas that this kind of resurfaces for you, right? So if you are an individual who had dealt with familial trauma or childhood trauma or some kind of domestic situation, and this just kind of resurfaces a lot of those feelings and those emotions, my recommendation to you at that point is to seek professional help by somebody who is certified in the psychological field. So a therapist, a clinical psychologist who can help you to start to unpack those emotions and help you along the journey of forgiveness and regaining some confidence and some self-esteem. A recommendation that I have for you is go to psychology.com or psychologytoday.com, type in your zip code, and it will bring up a list of certified therapists around you that can help you along that journey. If you related to this video, please make sure you hit like and subscribe down below. I love having open dialogue with people. So if this is something that you you, again, related to, or you feel like I may have missed something, or you know somebody who's going through this situation right now, please make sure you leave your comments down below. I love to read them. If you just want a little bit more detail and you want to know a little bit more, you can go to happilycommitted.com, where we have a multitude of different articles and blogs and videos related to this topic and many other topics as well. If you want to book a one-on-one coaching session because you feel like you need a little bit more help, you need more support in getting through this phase and getting through the emotional trauma of the infidelity, myself or any of the other amazing coaches on the team would be more than happy to support you through that process. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you guys are staying happy and healthy. See you guys soon.